So this is my second website for my for my BTech class. So this website is called Plastinction. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing that I focused on is who is the brief for this audience. Who is the audience for this brief? The audience for this brief is 15 to 23-year-olds. So what is the aim for this project? The aim of this project was to raise awareness and to encourage the target audience of young adults from ages 15 to 23 to boycott unnecessary use of single-use plastic. What is Plastinction? Plastinction is a new international research group that has been recently set up to investigate and to raise awareness of the environmental impact that single-use plastic is having globally. Okay, that's a little bit like what it is, because we had to create a product for them, so that's why it's important. So next, what did I create? I created a poster. The app that I created the poster on is on Procreate, and I created it on my iPad with my Apple Pencil. So there are 3 main pages for this website. So the first one is home, which is what I just showed you. Second one is single-use plastic, and then my third one is criterias. So in single-use plastic, I have what is single-use plastic. So single-use plastic is self-explanatory. It is plastic products that are disposable. So next I've included what is single-use plastic. This is very important because my whole kind of goal was to create a product raising awareness for this. So single-use plastic are basically like plastic products that you only use once, which is hence the name single use. So you throw them out after you're done. And yeah. So also according to the World Wildlife Fund, plastic is harmful to the environment and is non-biodegradable, which means that it takes years and years to disintegrate. So that's kind of like why it's important for people to stop using single-use plastic products. So next I've included what are some examples of single-use plastic. Some examples may include plastic bottles, plastic containers, and plastic bags. So next I've included some alternatives to single-use plastic products. So I have plastic bottles to metal bottles, plastic straws to metal straws, plastic cutlery to metal cutlery or bamboo cutlery, plastic containers to metal containers, and then plastic bags to recycled bags. So next I have what does it look like. So I just included some pictures of what single-use plastic products look like so that people can get like an idea. So this picture in particular I wanted to add because it's really important. So it says how long single-use plastic items single-use plastic items will be around. So plastic bottles 450 years, plastic bags 20 years, coffee cup 30 years, styrofoam forever, and plastic straws 200 years. So this is kind of important for people to know. Like also like when I found this out, I'm like, oh my god, I never knew this before. So yeah, it's kind of just important to raise awareness for how long these plastic products actually stay. Like it can be a lot longer than people expect it. Okay, so my next page is criterias. I've included criterias as the same as the depression one, AC1, AC2, AC3, AC4, and AC5. So for AC1, so I have what are the brief requirements. So for this brief, we had to create something like a poster, painting, short film, and with that in mind, we had to create something in order to raise awareness and encourage our target audience of young adults from ages 15 to 23 to boycott unnecessary use of single-use plastic products. So that's kind of like a little overview. So the first thing that I did was that I analyzed existing posters. I did this so I can get a sense of what I'm going to do because I'm going to create a poster. So I have these, again, MLA citation, and then what do I think and analyzing each of them. So And then here I just explained that I looked for posters that did not include text because myself, like, I didn't like my poster, like, no, I didn't want my poster to have text because it would be like really like overwhelming and it would take off the focus from the object of my poster. So next I interviewed 2 graphic designers. One of them is my mom's friend, the other one is my dad's friend. So for these questions, I have included questions such as, so how are the posters done in the industry? What does a day in a life in the graphic designer life look like? What qualities and skills should a graphic designer have? And what does a graphic designer learn about? So I thought that these were important to include so that it can further my research even more. Then I have how do artists showcase their work with a portfolio. So I just demonstrated and showed some example portfolios, and then again with the MLA citation and analysis. So next I'm going to go to AC2. So for this one I've included my sketch. So this is kind of like a little rough draft of what I want my poster to look like. So I have, what does it include? Like my background, my plastic bag, my ocean waves, things inside of the plastic bag, and what does everything represent, and why is everything important. Again, I just included, what did I include? What program did I use? I decided to use Procreate for this because I saw some tutorials, and also I took a class for Procreate, and I thought that it would be like the perfect place to create the poster. And also I wanted to create it like on the iPad on the computer. So I created it on the iPad, but I'm saying that I wanted to create it digitally. And yeah. So in this problem solving, I go over the problems, of course, self-explanatory, that I faced. So the first one is the plastic PNG pictures. So for this one, I didn't know how to draw the plastic PNG inside of the bag, which is like the center of my thing. So I imported I imported the plastic bottles, straws, and fish, and then I just traced over them, and then this is how I did it. And then I added a number of images and also some text. Then I did some layer problems. So for this problem, it was a recurring problem throughout all of my work actually, because sometimes I would create something on a layer, and I'd create another thing on the same layer, but when I would want to delete something, it would delete like the whole thing because it was on one layer. So for the reference materials, at first I didn't know how to use Procreate until I went to a class at Apple, which I have already explained before. But this is a video that I watched on how to use Procreate and how to draw on the iPad. So this is a video that I watched to gain knowledge about Procreate. So next I have AC3, which is my technical skills. So these are you will notice that these are the same as my depression website. So I have skills such as color wheel, brush techniques, and also layers. Again, I've included them in MLA citation. But mainly these 3 pictures come from the same website. So I have what are the different techniques that I have used during the creation of my poster. So I have brush techniques. Then I showed how I use a variety of different brushes, not just the same brush. And then for the technical skills, I expanded my knowledge of digital law, and then by that I mean that I used an iPad and an Apple Pencil. So here I have my progress pictures from beginning to end and how I did everything, and then again with some text. And then AC4, so this is my final poster. AC4, this is my final poster. Closest sections, explaining each of them, and then how does my poster look like in real life. and then on computer foam, and on iPhone foam. So my last one is AC5, which is communication. So for this one, I created a plastic pollution poster, and then I've included my poster, my color palette, and then some arrows pointing to my closest sections of my poster. And I have, so what are the brief requirements, and then how does my poster raise awareness? That is it.